Welcome back, insiders, to another day trading recap. Today, a little disappointed in myself, and I'll tell you exactly why. MESA and PCSA were the two new gappers that we were looking at, but lo and behold, CRG actually made a really nice move after the market opened, and guess who missed it again? I even wrote that on my tweet, CRGE. I always seem to take this one off my second screen right before it rips. And this is my second screen. CRGE is right here in the middle. And look at that open. It was beautiful. Now, I did remove it again from my second screen, thinking, okay, well, this one's pretty much dead as a former runner. It was basically like this. It popped up a little bit today. I took it off sometime pre-market. So that was a little bit frustrating. It is what it is. Anyway, PCSA got me green. I'll talk about that one first. Then we'll talk about SAFE, where I stopped out 3 times in a row at the perfect low. It's not every day that happens. Called it today. I realized it was very quickly turning in one of those days. I was up 400 and I could have called it after 30 minutes of trading, where you have those profits and before you know it, you're at a max loss. So that's why I was like, I got to call it, because I could have switched over to trading CRGE, which pulled back now. And I guarantee you, I would have done something wrong. I was already in the wrong mindset. I was kind of, where you want to trade, you want to make back your losses. You're getting kind of emotional. You're trading because of emotions and not exactly because of the charts at one point. You can't even really tell the difference. So you got to be grateful for what you have, and that's my big message for today. But let's talk about these tickers, and we'll start with PCSA. This is actually did a pretty good job today for like about 10 minutes. So it did have a catalyst, nothing too interesting. I called it a PR expansion news. It was just basically a press release about them expanding. It was another one of those classic, micro tickers, sub-dollars, decent low float for the price point. So I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and try to trade this ticker. And oh yeah, here you see it as well. I'm down 300 on SAFE, up almost 400 on PCSA, and then MESA small win there. And this one should have been a little bit better. I gave back right before I had the win, and I didn't size up on the win. So let's go PCSA really quickly here. This one by far had probably the best opportunities, and I'm a little bit, again, disappointed how I traded this one. And you saw it in the stream. By the way, I'll link the stream here in case you guys are curious. And you could literally just, the stream starts at 7 a.m., usually a few minutes before. So it's very easy. If you want to go exactly to 7:50 or wherever here, you can just fast forward it and you can see my live trading on these exact things. You just go to my YouTube channel and click on live, or here's the link I'll share at the top of this video. So what happened, a little hard to see actually now, this ticker popped up really quickly. I mean, this was like a boom, 90% pop, pulled back all the way and then came back. And this is where I got interested in it. And I went for this continuation, which didn't really happen, but I was able to get some green. Unfortunately, I was really sizing here looking for that last move. And look at this pop down. I'll just go back here a little bit more. Whack! Just absolute whack attack. And that, I was instantly like down 200 on this one, including, from the profit. So I gave back quite a bit. And then it actually ended up holding and coming back. And that's when I re-entered and try to trade this more aggressively. My goal was that 0.375. That was my goal. And I started, taking some profits, bought back here, 10,000 shares, popped up again. And this is really where I made most of my money right here. This was only 10,000 shares. I really, really, really need to do a better job here. This is one of those trades. I should have been long 20 or 30,000 shares. I mean, I want a 10K position size here. This is that good setup where this is minute 8:03. So we're right around here. We're at a 5-minute breakout, 1-minute pullback. Why am I not sizing here? This is the trade I'm waiting for. So shame on me for not really doubling down there. I tried a few more times here for this pullback and a pop higher, and I actually got it again. And then I sold, and I didn't get stuck in this flush. And actually, when I saw this, I basically stopped PCSA. It was done for me. Until the market opened, I saw this pop higher here, and I thought there was maybe a chance we would see 37. So I went for this pullback, but it failed. So I gave back like $40 here, almost $40 exactly. Now, I'm a little disappointed in myself here because I wanted this initial pullback, but I was a little conservative and I hesitated to put my limit orders in, and then it popped up. I wanted to take profits, but I wasn't even long the ticker, and this was actually the move I wanted. So I basically did the same trade twice, which I typically don't do. So shame on me for that. So there you see, I'm just a little bit sloppy, not really doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And SAVE, then I go to SAVE, which obviously you guys know is the crazy Spirit Airlines that did the merger. The merger failed. I think it was with JetBlue. The merger did not go through. Regulators were against it, and they've been selling off. Now, they did have a huge bounce already, like 50% yesterday. Not 50, it was like 35, 40%. And then today it's, crawling up again. And, these dead cat bounces, I typically don't trade. They're a little bit, they're just different. The price action is just a little bit different. Lo and behold, though, it was a really nice, clean front side. And I was like, man, I was talking to Corey in the Discord, and we're just like, we like the price action, but we just don't trade these tickers that much. And then we kind of came to the conclusion, like, small sizing it is a good idea. Get our, wet the beak a little bit. Unfortunately, I just go long with 900 shares right away. So this is a pretty decent size. With PCSA, I didn't even go that heavy with like a really good setup. So why am I so aggressive here? And I ended up stopping out at the perfect low. So I go here for an entry. I was looking for that light break of 77.5. We get it, but it sells off way more. I stop out at VWAP. It bounces back up to close to my entry. I got buy here looking for that continuation back to new highs of day. Again, we don't see that. I buy a bit more at the double bottom. I get flushed on again, stop out at the perfect low. I buy here looking for that continuation. And again, I stop out on the perfect low. And that was the last time I traded it. So within 3 trades, I'm down $300, which isn't that much, I guess, but almost all of it came from that first trade. So that was really bad. I just did not manage my risk well on this one by having too big size. And it was also just a ticker that I typically trade. And then on top of that, why am I trading the front, the above VWAP backside? Ultimately, what I was doing was trading backside and looking for reversal, which is a very, very hard way to trade. So what I should have been doing was trading the front side. I came in late to this one, and that was my mistake, because this is a classic front side. I would have done probably pretty well on this one, but I decided to trade the backside. So a little frustrating, I gotta say. I'm not frustrated that I traded safe. I'm frustrated how I trade safe. I traded the backside and I used way too big size on something I literally said don't use big size on. So I think that's what I was frustrated on. So within 30 minutes of the trading day, I was up 400, and then basically the rest of the day I was giving back profits. And that's what I mean. By the time CRGE popped up, I was just like, I probably shouldn't trade anymore. Now, let's go to talk about MESA. Let's go here. Now, MESA was actually our OG gapper on the day. Also has a catalyst with, I like this, a collab news with United Airlines, but somehow MESA didn't really live up to much. Had a nice initial gap and, float, nothing too crazy. But let's look at this one. The daily right here on the bottom screen, you can kind of see big pop, a lot of resistance at 123. So that was the spot I was kind of worried about. But, it was popping up and there were some opportunities on it in terms of extended hours. I don't trade usually extended hours, so I wasn't interested in it. Basically, by the time we saw it, it was already here. And my problem, okay, let me scroll out because this thing was thickly traded. So we were watching this one around this area. It never had enough volume where I was interested in it. I would have liked to see 500 shares being traded for $1 stock. But then the market opened and it did this kind of interesting, it felt like ascending wedge, which do typically break down to the downside. But and I didn't fully draw these lines at the time, but once you have a few years in the belt of trading, you kind of realize, okay, well, this one's starting to channel out a little bit here. So my goal was to size into this one, get the pop back to 125 and then sell it. That's what I did. Unfortunately, my first entry was too soon. It was actually way too soon. It was here. I thought we were going to hold higher and then pop that last bit. So I actually ended up stopping out again. So first I took a loss and then I only got 2,000 shares and then it popped higher. So again, a pretty good setup. I fumbled it. And then on the green trade, I didn't size up. So I did a lot wrong today. So for the fact that I'm green today, I should probably be extra grateful because man, how do you do so much wrong and you still walk away with green? So I should really, really be grateful today. I'm not fully because, I just wish I did a little bit better. But that's how it is. At least I'm not entering the weekend red. Whew. I'll tell you what, that was a tricky 4-day week. We were able to walk away green, so I'm happy about that. I hope next week's going to be a little bit more action. I think we would all really appreciate that. Friday, though, I do have a flight. I'm going to be in Utah for 6 weeks, so Friday I will not be trading. And then on Monday, you guys will actually see me trade back out of Utah. So I got to get up at 4, probably 4:45 for the next 6 weeks. That's going to be brutal. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, dropping that like. Have a great weekend. I'll see you then first thing Monday morning.